Welcome back to the Explainer. So if you're gearing up for your exams, you already know that past questions are literally your gold standard. Today we're teaming up with QandAHelp, which, by the way, is the absolute ultimate reviewer check platform for WAEC, JAMB, and NECO prep, to break down a WSSC 2026 sequence substitution problem. We're going to turn this intimidating math puzzle into an absolute breeze. So let's just dive right in. All right, here is the exact exam question we're conquering today. It reads, given that s sub n equals 2n squared minus 3n, find s sub 6. And we've got 4 multiple choice options to pick from. A is 10, B is 4, C is 54, and D is 18. Now, I know that little n can look kind of intimidating if you aren't used to it, but I promise you by the end of this explainer, you're going to see this exact type of question on an exam and just smile, because we're going to uncover the value of s sub 6 together, step by logical step. Now, before we calculate anything at all, let's completely demystify what that n actually is. I really want you to just picture n as an empty box. It's nothing more than a placeholder, just waiting for us to put a number inside it. The question gives us the expression for s sub n, but it specifically wants us to find s sub 6. You see that tiny little number 6 right beside the s? Well, that is our secret key. It tells us exactly what number we need to take and literally drop into every single empty box n that we see in our expression. It's honestly just a simple set of instructions. And that brings us right to the substitution step. We take our original expression, and everywhere we spot an n, we just swap it out for a 6. Notice how our equation completely transforms. It becomes s sub 6 equals 2 times 6 squared minus 3 times 6. Now pay really close attention here. We didn't just replace the first n, right? We replaced the second one too. Every single n must be replaced by our number 6. If you happen to miss even one, the whole calculation goes completely off track. Okay, hold on. Before we go any further, we absolutely need to pause and talk about a massive, super common trap. When students are rushing through an exam, they'll often look at that 6 squared and mistakenly think it means 6 multiplied by 2, which would be 12. And no way, that is completely incorrect. The absolutely crucial point here is to remember your order of operations. An exponent tells you to multiply the number by itself, so 6 squared is actually 6 times 6, which gives us 36. Avoiding that one single mistake, honestly, that's often the difference between passing and failing this entire question. So let's see how this builds out our actual equation. Now that we know 6 squared is 36, we can evaluate that exponent in our expression. We just rewrite our equation as s sub 6 equals 2 times 36 minus 3 times 6. Notice how we haven't even touched the multiplication or the subtraction yet? Because in math, just like in life, doing things in the right order really matters. Those exponents always come first. All right, with the exponents out of the way, we are ready for the very next operation, multiplication. And we've kind of got 2 mini problems to multiply here. First, we multiply 2 by 36, which gives us 72. Then, over on the other side, we multiply 3 by 6, which gives us 18. And we must make absolutely sure that the minus sign sitting right there in the middle remains exactly where it is. It just drops straight down. So now our expression has simplified beautifully into s sub 6 equals 72 minus 18. We are literally right at the finish line now. And here is the final step. Honestly, the easiest one of the whole shebang. We just perform the subtraction. If we take 18 away from 72, we're left with 54. By just taking our time, replacing our n variables carefully, handling that tricky exponent properly, multiplying and then subtracting, we have confidently revealed our calculated answer. So, revisiting our original WAEC question just to see how we did, we were asked to find s sub 6, and our hard-earned calculation gave us 54. Let's check out our options. A is 10, B is 4, C is 54, and D is 18. Yes, we have a perfect match. Option C is for sure our correct answer. Man, it feels so great when the math works out perfectly like that, doesn't it? This really cements the victory and proves that breaking the problem down step by step pretty much guarantees the right result. You know, now that you completely understand the mechanics, I want to share a really cool shortcut with you. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a mental checklist to help you tackle any quadratic sequence substitution question like an absolute pro. Whenever you see a question formatted like this, just remember these 4 simple steps. 1. Substitute the number into your empty boxes. 2. Square the number, remembering to multiply it by itself, of course. 3. Multiply the outer numbers. And 4. Subtract to get your final answer. Substitute, square, multiply, subtract. Just keep that rhythm looping in your head. Let's just do a super quick recap of that whole logical flow so it really sticks. We started with s sub n equals 2n squared minus 3n. We substituted to get s sub 6 equals 2 times 6 squared minus 3 times 6. We evaluated the square and did our multiplication to simplify it right down to s sub 6 equals 72 minus 18. And finally, we subtracted to arrive at 54. Seeing it all laid out like this really shows that math isn't magic, right? It's literally just following a highly reliable set of rules. Okay, you knew this was coming. I think it's time to put your newly acquired skills to the test. I'm going to challenge you right now with a quick quiz. Using the exact same expression, s sub n equals 2n squared minus 3n, I want you to find s sub 3. I'm going to give you a brief pause to mentally walk through our 4-step shortcut. Remember, substitute, square, multiply, subtract. Give it a shot right now. Well, how'd you do? Let's walk through the solutions step by step together and find out. First, we substitute the 3 into every n box. That gives us 2 times 3 squared minus 3 times 3. Next, we square the 3, which is 3 times 3, giving us 9. So now we've got 2 times 9 minus 3 times 3, which is also 9. We do our final multiplication, turning 2 times 9 into 18. That leaves us with 18 minus 9. And our final answer is 9. If you got that right, you were totally getting the hang of this. All right, I'm going to throw one more quick quiz your way just to be absolutely sure you've mastered this technique. This time, we're using a slightly different expression just to keep you on your toes. If t sub n equals n squared plus 2n, find t sub 4. Notice we changed the minus to a plus and the coefficient out front is completely gone, but the logic, it remains exactly the same. Empty boxes, substitution, order of operations. Go ahead, try to solve it. Let's go ahead and reveal that step-by-step resolution. We just drop that 4 right into our empty boxes to get 4 squared, plus 2 times 4. We evaluate the square first. 4 times 4 is 16. Then we multiply 2 by 4 to get 8. And finally, we add them together. 16 plus 8 gets us exactly to 24. See? It proves that whether you are subtracting or adding, evaluating that square before you do anything else is the ultimate secret to getting the right answer every single time. You know that step-by-step clarity we just experienced today? That is exactly what you can expect when you study smarter with QandAHelp. They are genuinely the ultimate caring guide for your exam prep, covering all WAEC, JAMB, and NECO subjects. Instead of scrambling around with messy notes, you get these in-depth reviewer-checked explanations neatly organized into one single library. If you encode how we broke down today's math problem, you absolutely have to visit QandAHelp.com to start exploring their incredible resources totally for free. So I just want to leave you with this one final thought today. Math isn't some crazy, unsolvable mystery. It's really just a sequence of simple, logical steps waiting to be unlocked. Once you truly understand the rules of the game, like the order of operations, you are in complete control. So what complex challenge are you going to apply this logic to next? Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more explainers. And definitely click the link in the description to visit QandAHelp right now. Keep practicing, and I will see you in the next explainer.